Hello, everyone, and welcome to Quick Takes with the Diverse Learners Cooperative. Today, we're talking about tracking progress using a virtual student portfolio. If you're unfamiliar with who we are at the DLC, we are an organization whose mission is to equip and empower teachers and leaders to serve all students. Today, our goal is to give you a quick tool that you can use to track the progress of multilingual students over the course of a year. We'll look at why we're doing that, and then we'll give you a tour of the tool. So why would we want to use a portfolio? A great way to organize student goals is to put them in a student portfolio. There's a lot of things that these can include, but the reason that we use them is to display a snapshot of student growth. They also help us glimpse student skills across subject areas over time. They help build student buy-in as they allow students to participate in goals and growth, and they're easy to streamline and help us avoid information overload that we all know that we can get when we're thinking about everything that our students are doing. So what should portfolio include? We want to include an ILP, so their individualized learning plan. We want to think about other assessments. So you might include math assessments, you might include benchmark assessments. We want to include writing samples each quarter, exemplar work from multiple different courses. We want to keep them streamlined and organized and consolidate them every year. There's 3 tools here or articles on the right that you can use to click through that are going to give you a lot of really good information. Some are focused on elementary student portfolios, some are focused on secondary school portfolios. But in any sense, you can look through these and get a great idea of how you can use these to help your EL students. So I wanted to show you an example that we've created to hopefully make this process really easy for you. This document that we have is a slide deck, and you're going to be able to click on this slide here and it'll take you to it. You can make a copy of it. It's really, really easy to edit. It's shareable with everybody who serves the student. A lot of times in the past, we used portfolios as folders and physical documents, and we would file student papers in there. And those were great, but they can't be looked at by more than one person at the same time. And they are often full of things. They're hard to curate what's inside of them. We can't necessarily take one portion of their writing to highlight. We can't make notes on them as easily unless we have things like Post-its. So it gets a little bit more complicated. So this was our answer to the modern day update for a student portfolio. So it's shareable with everybody who works with that student. And it's got a quick snapshot of what that student can do. That's on the first page. You'll see it's got a breakdown of a lot of things that are already on the ILP, but for a teacher who is less familiar with how to read an ILP or what information is available for them about a multilingual student, they can look at this first page and get a lot of really good information. It's an easy place to store student work, and it's quick to review and keep updated. So I'm going to give you a tour of what it looks like. So this is the first slide. It's got their grade, their home language, their access score for the current year, and then the 4 different language domains. And then it's got a place to make some notes about how long the student's been in the country receiving services and how they're getting services this year. So a teacher can look and say, okay, they're getting their services during pullout at this time, they're getting services during co-teaching at this time. It's also going to help us understand the classes the student's currently taking and can break that down. This is all editable, so you could change it to be whatever fits your school or your needs. The next page is really important, and it has their language goals. So a lot of our ILPs have a ton of information on them about their goals. This is a way to streamline some of that information, pare it down a little bit so that it's manageable and easy to understand for another educator. So we've got all 4 language domains, and by the end of the school year, this student's going to be showing evidence of growth towards these goals. I've also linked on here the receptive and expressive performance definitions so that you can see what's appropriate for students at each level. If teachers are a little bit unclear about where these goals came from, you can refer them to those performance definitions, which is, I think, one of the best tools that we can use with our gen ed teachers to help serve our multilingual students. Then the next pages are just 4 slides that have space to put documentation on reading, writing, listening, and speaking. What I would do on these is include screenshots of student work. I would take pictures of exemplar work and include them on here. Every time that you add something, I would just include a new slide with this domain as the title. So if a student has a writing sample that I want to include, I would include a little text box that gives a little bit of context and just a really quick picture that I uploaded on here of student writing. And I would include the date, I would include the class where they did this writing, and maybe a little bit of reasons why I included this piece versus something else. And then over time, I'll have at least 4 slides, one for each quarter, that has some growth that I can see right here on this document over time that the student has improved in their writing, and I can see specific evidence of that in these images. If I'm doing something like listening, I might just be making notes on this page, or I might have evidence of this is what I asked the student and this is what they said, or I could record a conversation with the student. I could read them something, ask them questions, and make some notes about their growth that way. For speaking, I might include something like a Vocaroo file. I might put Flipgrid on here. I might just have a video of them asking and answering questions about academic topics. And I would be able to include the date on those. So it makes keeping up with what our students are doing over time really, really simple and really, really easy. If this was me, I would have one of these files for every single multilingual student, and I could organize these by grade level in folders in Drive or whatever system your school uses. And then I would share them with every teacher that serves that student. So that's it. Thanks for joining us. And I hope that this tool is something that you find useful, especially as we're going into a new semester and you're wanting to support your multilingual students and see how they're moving towards their goals. Let me know if you ever have any questions. You can find me at mary@diverselearnerscoop.com. And be on the lookout. We've got upcoming intensives and different offerings. Those are all available on our website, diverselearnerscoop.com. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.